What if I told you there was a man whose words have shaped the course of history for thousands of years? A man who stood before kings, delivered warnings to entire nations, and became the voice of God during one of the most chaotic times in history. This is the story of Isaiah, one of the Bible's greatest prophets, whose courage and faith continue to inspire millions today. Before we delve deeper into this fascinating journey, take a moment to subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and hit the notification bell. By doing so, you ensure that these life-changing stories continue to reach more people. Isaiah lived in the 8th century BCE, during a pivotal era for the nation of Israel. At that time, the Israelites were divided into two kingdoms, the northern kingdom of Israel and the southern kingdom of Judah. Isaiah's ministry was primarily focused on Judah and its capital, Jerusalem. The people of Judah were immersed in idolatry, injustice, and moral decay. Yet, they still claimed to follow the God of Israel. This hypocrisy stirred God's anger, and he chose Isaiah as his prophet to call the people to repentance. Isaiah's story begins with an extraordinary vision that changed the course of his life forever. In the 6th chapter of his book, Isaiah describes seeing the Lord seated on a high and exalted throne, with the train of his robe filling the temple. Around him were seraphim, angelic beings, calling out to one another, "Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty, the whole earth is full of his glory." The sight was so overwhelming that the very foundations of the temple shook, and the air was filled with smoke. Confronted with the divine presence, Isaiah was struck by his unworthiness. He cried out, "Woe to me! I am ruined! For I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips, and my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty." In response, one of the seraphim flew to him with a live coal taken from the altar, touching it to his lips and declaring, "Your guilt is taken away, and your sin atoned for." Then the voice of the Lord asked, "Whom shall I send? And who will go for us?" Isaiah's response was immediate and bold, "Here am I, send me." This vision marked the beginning of a challenging and remarkable prophetic mission. Isaiah was tasked with delivering messages of warning, judgment, and hope to the people of Judah. He warned of the impending destruction of Jerusalem if they did not turn away from their sins. He foretold the rise of the Assyrian Empire, which would invade and devastate the land, and even prophesied the Babylonian exile, which would take place more than a century later. But Isaiah's prophecies were not solely about doom and destruction. He also spoke of a future restoration and the coming of a Messiah. One of his most profound prophecies is found in chapter 53, where he describes a suffering servant who would bear the sins of humanity. "He was pierced for our transgressions, he was crushed for our iniquities, the punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds, we are healed." This vivid description of the Messiah's sacrifice is seen by Christians as a foretelling of Jesus Christ, written centuries before his birth. Isaiah's life was far from easy. His messages were often met with rejection, ridicule, and hostility. The rulers and people of Judah were unwilling to listen, preferring to cling to their corrupt ways. Tradition holds that Isaiah met a tragic end, being martyred under the reign of King Manasseh. Despite his suffering, Isaiah remained steadfast in his mission, leaving behind one of the most profound legacies in the Bible. The book of Isaiah is rich with themes of justice, righteousness, and hope. It reminds us that even in the darkest times, God's plan is unfolding, and his promises are sure. Isaiah's words have stood the test of time, continuing to challenge, convict, and inspire people across the globe. If this story moved you, let us know in the comments what part impacted you the most. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who might find inspiration in Isaiah's extraordinary journey. Join us next time for more incredible stories from the Bible that will enrich your faith and deepen your understanding.